Get it? Okay.
Is this something?
Yes, ma'am, that's right. All of your drinks are already paid for, yes. You're taking your tasting, that's right. You already paid for them.
Rise, just sit up. No, you gonna come and talk about them?
They are, yes. You're taking your tasting. So they're gonna tell us about them. They're all in the code.
Let's go.
It's beautiful.
It's like already pre-poured everywhere.
Yeah.
Just buy it. Give me a little wave, guys. Give me a little wave. Come on, wait.
Oh, hey.
No audio, don't worry, no audio.
This thing is moving.
Is this anyone's here?
Nah.
Well, I think their rules are they only do these things I guess because they
No, yeah, because the brunch
He said he doesn't want to shout over the musicians.
tasting is outside.
They got the musicians, so he doesn't want to shout over them.
going over here.
I was just feeling the warmth. I don't feel any
It's so windy. It's so windy. It's flicking the heat away. I think those are French. I think they're turkey bowls.
It should be coming out here.
The one that's already been probably poured on the side too?
This?
I think that one.
No, he's got this. Why didn't you bring your jacket?
I'm not tasting.
Enzo, what'd you do? Stop it!
Kind of. But it's so windy, the heat is just getting licked away.
My son is born in March, so. My son's birthday in March, so like, I'm the
Sure, they're outside. No, it's not.
Looks like anybody on these two that you know?
Not that I know of.
Trying to make sure we have enough. I just want to make sure everybody's got it.
Video!
I just want to catch how cold.
No, he's wearing the big
Is that real
Remember that one time you gave me your jacket? Do you remember that?
He says he's working on it.
Your jacket.
He says he forgot.
I don't think it's gonna fit you before, but I remember like zipping it up and it was like literally the most flowing fitting. And I was freezing. I was in like a t-shirt.
I'm freezing! Freezing!
Not blocking the wind.
Can we start drinking, or we gotta wait for a guy?
He's gonna tell us what's what.
I'm sorry.
One stop shop.
I know, I'm close. Yeah, I mean, I don't do it today, but it's over. Sure. Well, I'm learning German, Klingon, math. So basically, you got the nerd package. The nerd package.
I didn't know Duolingo has Klingon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Are you recording me? Yeah.
For now. You have to do max for that?
No. I gotta find it. It's in there.
Right now I'm learning German, French, and Spanish.
I'm learning like Spanish. Like when I get bored of one, I jump to another. Yeah, I'm doing Vietnamese, Chinese, Ukrainian, music, and math. But there's Klingon on here. At least there used to be.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Valerian.
Oh, God. You know, the Sunday morning show, last week, they interviewed the people who do all the linguistics sort of shows.
Yeah, it's based on real stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely here. I've definitely used it. I'll find it. But it's like,
I mean, like,
no wonder we just like look at something else and like get some dollars. It was an amount of money. And it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, everybody can convey. The first and foremost thing, guys, that's super like easy about it is where they are, the name's written underneath.
Yay.
So if you find something you like or really want, like, that's a good thing to keep in mind. That'll help you.
Anther? Oh, Arthur?
Okay.
All right, that's not so. We have a couple
yeah, these are free to anyone who wants them.
Oh, I thought they had the name.
They do.
Is anybody here?
Nope.
Go ahead. And the names are underneath the cups. Just pick up the cup.
Oh, okay. Something with an L. Potter.
Farmers?
This one's Homestead. This one's Carlotta Coaster Pain.
Homestead. We're used to this. You scream, we'll listen.
They said there was like 3 people.
We'll fill it. It's terrible.
You can start wherever you start, but
You're gonna get it in trouble.
Yeah, you're totally going great. It's very good. You actually have a point.
yeah, you're on the sweet side. You should go. You're going right. Exactly. That's better. I like that. Yeah, exactly. Well,
Something you actually.
I'm gonna wait for the guy to give us.
Which one do we drink first? Which one do we drink first?
all right, so I think our last guy.
Let's go.
Here we go.
I want to get my drink on.
You ready to drink up?
Alright, this is all you guys, right?
Yeah.
Everybody can hear me?
Yeah.
Way louder if I have to get louder.
Woo!
Excellent.
Raise your hand if you're not here.
I'm not here.
I'm Tim. I'm the bar and sales manager for Treasury Cider at Fishkill Farms. Welcome, everybody. This is Chris. He's our head cider maker. We're going to walk you guys through 5 of our offerings. Right now, we have 14 in total, counting my care. We have a combo coming up in the near future. We have a couple single varietals, which is a bit rare for cider. If it is not grown on this property, it does not go into our bottle. So we have 280 acres. Last count is 96 varietals of apples.
Wow.
With a ton of new saplings coming because apples are heterozygous. So if you grow from seed, you get a different plant no matter what. There's no progenitor base. That's why grafting is such a big thing.
Yeah.
The only way to assure you're going to get what you want to get.
So I'm going to give you guys how we're going to do this in directions, then we're going to move on, okay? Yep. We're going to start on the top left, and if you guys, just in case, make sure everybody's on the right, it's going to be Onda is what we're starting with, O-N-D-A. I apologize, my handwriting is not good, and I'm the one who wrote all this shit. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I'll do so Onda is kind of it's slightly experimental, I guess I would say. It's only the second time we've done it. And it is a sour base. It's almost closing in on vinegar, so it's definitely got an acetic acid presence.
I love it.
Spanish vibe. I don't know if you've had Spanish cider, but Spanish cider tends to move this direction.
I've never had a Spanish cider.
It's one of those things that you kind of steer into the curve of a problem. Like if you taste it, you're like, oh, this is getting a little acetic, but maybe we can use it for Onda. So that's what this one is. Varieties in this I'd have to look up, but I think it's mostly kind of russet tart type variety.
like a little bit of wet cedar, white peppercorn.
Yeah, and, you know, not vinegar, but you can taste that it could go that way if we let it go further.
Just to give you guys a sense of how we're going to do this and why I laid this out the way I did, we're going to start with the half sour, we're going to move drier, then it's going to be a co-ferment, which is cherry, stone fruit, and apple, but it's also dry, and then we're going to move on to our two semi-dries. We don't make sweet cider, we make semi-dry or off-dry cider.
That's nice.
So the perceived sweetness after going through the sour and the dry stuff, it's going to feel pretty sweet, but as far as actual sugar content, it's sitting at less than 15 grams per bottle.
Wow.
20 grams per liter is really kind of on the high end. You know, what we actually.
That's a good basket.
Like natural bacteria, natural like red yeast, or what?
This, as far as fermentation, is that the question? Yeah, no, it's all what's on the apple.
It's all wild fermentation.
All native. We don't propagate per se. When we press, you know, myself and my production manager Eli will grab a carboy of juice and promote it, you know, to become a PDC as they call it. I don't know if that's a beer term either, but you know, it's just basically a way to add liquid that's already fermenting to really kick it off. We did notice in the past it will kick off without that, but it's going to take a lot longer. And of course, as you guys know, the longer something's sitting there not moving, the more possibilities there is for problems. So we got a pretty good system going with that now.
So do you find the ciders are repeatable? Like you can get the same cider multiple times, or
To an
is it
extent.
always going to be unique?
There's not a recipe for sure.
Not a recipe.
Yeah, it's repeatable, but it's repeatable because I've had them all, and I'm like, you know, between myself, the owner, you know, Tim and Eli, even I've been here 7 years, so I'm kind of the senior guy. But yeah, we know like there's one we do Centennial. It's going to usually be russet varieties, because we have the tartar ends. You know, basically with cider apples, there's 4 classifications. You can do sweet, you can do bittersweet, you can do sharp, or you can do bitter sharp. Kind of how you'd expect. Sharp is acidic, bitter is tannic, and then sweet is just, you know, like most of what you buy in the grocery store would be considered like sweet.
Big culinary or food purpose, for instance.
Yeah, but that bitter stuff brings the tannins in, the leathery kind of that, and then obviously the sharp stuff can bring more acid. So you know, if I know I have one that I want more on the acidic side, we got an idea where I'll go, but it's always, we try to press as single varietal as we can, so we can blend after, because blending before is a bit of a, you don't really know what it's going to be like after it ferments. So.
I think it's also something that just comes with working with an agricultural product is, you know, there are years of feast, there are years of famine. This year is what's been classified as a boom harvest or super harvest. The year before was awful because it was so wet up here.
Yeah,
you guys are all coming from Staten Island, is that correct?
Yeah.
Excellent. It's too bad Eli's not here. Our production manager did like 7.5 years with Freeze. So he is currently skiing in Tahoe. Yeah. You know, like they do.
You follow, you
Yeah,
don't,
go,
you don't
go.
add yeast, and you ferment it's all bacteria from the fruit and from the animal.
Bottle conditioning, we add a little EC118,
The bottom.
just the bottle conditioning, but
But then the
fermentation.
flavors are.
Yeah, at fermentation.
Okay, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that we're able to pull that out. We, you know, like I said, I've been here 7 years. When I started, we were pitching a little more, but for the past maybe 5, barely anything.
It's really terroir indicative, which is awesome because
Yeah.
it's the yeast that occurs in this single glacial cut valley, and some of the ciders are a little more indicative of that. But yeah, essentially, yeah.
I have a question. Last time I did the bus tour with these guys, we went to a place called.
James Brown's winning.
Talk loud. Talk loud.
Turn it down.
Okay, so the last time we went, I was on this. We went to a place called Penning Cider.
Sure, I know Steve. He's a great guy. Yeah.
And I was wondering, do you guys have? They had this like accordion machine. It looks like an accordion, and it squeezes the life out of everything.
We're getting it soon.
Oh,
We have an
cool.
old school one that's rack and cloth.
Wow.
So ours is an old steel press, and you literally put a piece of hard plastic on, put a piece of burlap on, you put on all the ground up apple,
Yeah.
and then you fold it up like a letter.
Yeah.
Or another piece of plastic, and ours squeezes from the top.
Wow.
And it's cool, but those are more efficient.
I'm under the impression that's like,
We're
yeah,
talking ladder press versus
Yeah.
pneumatic press.
yeah. You're just like twisting it away.
Yeah.
It's like your arms are tired. It's like, we got.
No, it's me. I'm the one who's missing.
You get your arms tired, and it's like, am I done yet? No.
Oh yeah, the one we have now is very labor
It's
intensive.
our second slider.
Second one, yeah, go.
Second Cider's Farmers Motel. This is a true dry, like most of our
Is it
things.
the top right?
Top right.
Top right,
Right
yeah.
there, right there.
We're gonna go into Z. A little bit of meaty, a little more umami forward, tiny bit of smoke.
So again, kind of where we were talking about tannic versus sharp. A lot more tannic going on here. Color is usually very indicative of that as well. You still have the Onda, you'll see the Onda lighter than this. Can't trust that across the board, but darker usually means more tannic.
What would you pair this with?
The Farmers Motel.
Yeah.
I really like it with lamb.
Ooh.
It stands up really well to a game meat, so a little bit of funk, a little bit more kind of stickiness, a little bit of collagen on the back. So yeah.
So when you say tannin, is that when you have a little bit more skin?
It's a pair with a
Or
game meat.
is the skin of the apple?
There certainly is tannin in the skin, but there are some apple varieties that you bite into, and it is like tea bag in your mouth. Like it's in the flesh as well.
There's also some stemminess that comes with a natural press like this. You're going to get a little bit of the wood and everything.
We do a lot of oak aging. That
Yeah.
clearly is
Okay.
going to bring in
Yeah.
that note.
It's beautiful.
Some pointer work, and yeah, that's what I like too. That's one of my favorites.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This isn't about the ciders or stuff. Do you get wild, because you said gamey stuff, do you get wild turkeys around here?
Oh yeah.
Because, funny enough, in Staten Island, we have, I call them street turkeys.
Yeah.
We have feral turkeys on the island. And somebody was like getting into an argument with me online saying, oh, you never had wild turkey before? It's like, yeah, come to Staten Island, kill a wild turkey. They're just glorified pigeons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stay focused on the
I'm in
beer.
Poughkeepsie, and I have what we call city deer.
Yeah.
And they are afraid of fucking nothing.
Yeah!
Stare a car down, like I'm in a quieter part of a relatively
It's like,
large city.
I hope
They
you're
are-
insured.
They are just present, yeah.
They're afraid of me.
Yeah,
They are. I've chased them
Oh,
out
yeah?
of the block.
They're not afraid of me. and I'm
All your
quite
apples
bigger.
grown here or import apples?
every day.
All grown here.
We're very lucky in that regard. We just got back from CiderCon in Chicago, and part of the American Cider Association, every year. And so many people, so I'm like, yeah, we're on a farm. We have about 280 acres. We grow everything. We get there like, if you grow it. I'm like, yeah, we're very lucky in that regard. Yeah.
I'm under the impression you can't pick the apples when it's apple season. Like, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you
That is-
can.
Oh my god.
That's what makes
So
our
much of our business is you pick apples.
But to be clear, not the ones that I'm using.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't let people come pick the cider.
We have a different line for cider fruits.
Oh, okay.
So what is
We
the
will
name
sell
of the cider
them,
apple?
but yeah.
Do you allow dogs on the ground?
No. I'm okay with dogs like on my back deck. Starting mid-April, I pour out of this big bar back here that you guys will take a look at.
We allow dogs up here and in the courtyard, but not out in the fields because so many of our products are organic and eco-certified that if there's any waste that's incorporated into the soil, it kind of messes with our
So question,
Okay.
like you have Spies, you have Freddy's Fizz and stuff like that. So what are the names of cider apples?
So yeah, I was gonna get to that. Okay, yeah, great.
Let's do our next side and then we'll go back.
Yeah, let's move to counterpane, and then I'll give that answer. Counterpane's right in the middle. That's the easy one. You can tell by the color. This is a co-ferment, so starts with apples. And then cherries, peaches, nectarines. This has stone fruit as well, so you'll probably get a little of that in the nose.
I've never heard the word is it co-ferment?
Co-ferment is a very common. That just means apple and another fruit, or even it could be a vegetable even, but it just means two things fermenting.
I mean, I know you can get eau de vie from vegetables.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, people do. I mean, herbs are definitely a thing. And getting beer is not that much different. So, but yeah, this one a little. I think throws some people because they see that color and think there's going to be like a cherry Jolly Rancher in it. It's dry. Which again, that's kind of
It's delicious.
But we've done it for several years. We have a lot of cherry in them. People are cherry forward. This year we had to supplement with more of the peach nectarine type stuff just because cherries are very hit or miss for us.
What is a stone fruit, though?
Just means peach nectarine cherry. Anything that's got that little spark.
Oh, okay.
The stone.
I thought it was. I literally thought it was like an actual fruit called a stone fruit.
Yeah. So I mean anything with a pit, basically.
Oh, okay.
But to your question, Ashmead's Kernel, Roxbury Russet, Madai, I mean. Every time I start listing off apples, people are like, I don't know.
Oh, we get these apples at my school with the red inside.
Yeah. We grow quite a few of those pink pearl. The pristine apples in there were actually grown on our site.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, you'll see most of the names you won't recognize, but that's because you don't really eat them. So.
There's the one apple orchard we go to pick apples. I think it's called Harvest Moon.
Okay.
And I want to go back there, but they have types of apples that are really rare. Like, it is cool. They have like apples that are like, I can't remember what it was called, but they have like an apple like when you hear the Legend of Johnny Appleseed. They have like one of those like ancient apples.
Oh, we grow a fair amount of stuff like that too. We have Harrison out there, which was an extinct apple varietal that tastes like pressed pineapple juice, like roasted pineapple juice.
We did find one of them. We did find one of the ones that's like it's an ancient apple thing, and they're like about this big.
Yeah.
They're very tiny, and they were very good. And I'm like, I gotta get more of them.
My favorite thing coming out of that field is a chestnut crab apple, which is about the size of a ping pong ball. You would not think it's good, and it is perfect. It is just the right mix of perfumey. It's sweet. It's acidic.
You would never know about
I will eat any
pears, like cider apple.
That looks like it's dead.
We grow a fair amount of crab apples.
That's an ugly apple. Jen, would you eat that thing?
It's one of those like, oh shit! I think I
That
get
probably
this.
makes a really good cider.
All right, so let's go to the next one, guys, and that way you guys aren't hanging. Don't need to hear me hammer.
Yeah,
Was this ether?
absolutely. Yeah.
So anther is where we're going next.
Anther.
Was bottom left when it was situated, but it's the kind of dark golden one.
Oh, that's delicious.
So this is a semi-dry, so this does have a little sugar added to it. Not a lot. A lot of people are like, oh, I've had cider, it's sweet. I'm like, this is as sweet as we get, and what you find in the grocery store is probably 3 or 4 times as sweet easily. This is a lot of bittersweet varieties, a lot of English and French bittersweet varieties. You get a really nice tannin with this. I feel like this is a really good intro cider for people that don't realize how much tannin and whatnot you get because the sugar makes it a little more approachable. You do get a lot of tannin.
This is also solidly indicative of what you were talking about with the color differentiation between acidic apples and more tannic apples.
Can you imagine if you like mixed that with a little vodka or something?
What's that?
Did you put a little vodka or some rum with that?
Oh, you well, we do cocktails.
So you back. What's up, buddy?
So this one you back. The last two you're gonna have.
You're gonna have
are
to
a
come
little
back to me. I forgot my question. I said you're gonna have to come back to me. I forgot my question.
That's okay.
We have back
I'm not going
before
anywhere.
with ice cider. So basically, if you put fresh juice in the freezer and then let it thaw. What comes out first, you guys know this, is super concentrated, super sugar.
When it comes to like,
The bricks,
oh, that
when
one's
the
really
bricks
interesting.
change
Wait
its
for
top,
it to
and you
stop.
freeze it to get a little more out maybe. But yeah, we did that one year. I'd love to do that more. It's a little tricky because also you're like, how much of this will be what, because you can use the calculations, but typically with this, we just use dextrose. We know how much.
As a home brewer, I find cider frustrating. I like the slightly sweet cider.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
No, this is probably what you're like.
otherwise, they taste like champagne, which is fine. They're great. I like
You get
slightly sweet
Prosecco,
cider.
yeah.
And for me, like they go straight to zero. They're always dry with the home brew, so you have to like back sweet.
Yeah, which is hard because filtering
If you
it.
have
Otherwise
extra,
it's-
I'll take it. So keep playing with it.
Yeah, and we,
You have willing testers.
as we do with the semi-dries, we do have a
Do you
plate
want
filter
this
that,
one?
and a sterile filter that,
Oh,
and we,
no, I
admittedly,
just
we
can't keep up.
I don't think
All right.
we re-ferment in the bottle. I don't think
Still
they
go
condition
over myself.
further, but we do 4 strokes. That's another thing. These last 2 were 4 strokes.
Do you never try it like pulp fermentation with like without metabisulfate or something like that?
Yeah, we're not a big addition if we can avoid it. I mean, I'd love to do a pet nat approach where I watch the gravity bottle it, but you also have to be very ready.
Today's the day. Like, 24 hours.
Yeah.
Now.
Which can be tricky for us.
What's your best seller?
Probably the one you're about to have next, Homestead. Homestead is our longest running. I think this could change rather soon because I think the one you just had I find more complex and more interesting. The one you're about to have, Homestead, is a bestseller because it is. If somebody's like, I don't know about cider, I tell them, have Homestead.
Very
Homestead
apple
is-
forward,
exactly.
very juicy.
And it's the sweet. That's why we had to go last.
We have one more semi-dry that is that actually steeps with whole staghorn sumac that grows on the property as well. That's
Wow.
rosé. I did not include that, but I do have it on the tap inside. If you guys, oh, if you guys want to come in,
There you go. What is this, sumac?
sorry. It's old cone staghorn sumac that grows wild in the entire area. Yeah, they look just kind of like fuzzy pine cones.
Yeah, like red fuzzy.
What's that?
Okay. Now I know how you said like the apples that you grow, you have to do a lot of complicated stuff to get the specific apple. Do you have to hand pollinate?
Typically speaking, if you are really shooting for a specific subset of apple, you wrap. So you find strong rootstock, then you cut branches, and you basically put like a limb onto a standing fruit.
It's crazy
Right, it's like a
Frankenstein
file.
type technology. It doesn't.
I mean, I know, I've heard of the guy. It's crazy you say that because there's a guy. There's this. They're works of art, and the weird part is every time you Google it, you get this weird picture that's not it, and in fact they were actually much smaller. But there's this guy who made it his life's goal to save a whole bunch of like endangered fruit,
That's a big thing.
and
There's
he
a fair amount of that,
and
especially in this area.
he grafted them all to this one tree, but when you see the picture, if you Google like the story of it, you get this picture of like, well, this is before AI images were a thing, but you get like this beautiful picture of like a tree with all this stuff on it.
Yeah.
In reality, they were way smaller.
Things on there and you'll get 10 different.
All apple trees are basically correct. If you're trying to have a scent what like we know what is coming out on this tree, that's it. If you go by seed, it is almost always going to be a genetic variation.
Which is why they're so.
Thing with the pollination,
Yeah.
only concerned about pollination if you're granting from seeds, but they're not planting from seeds.
Okay. Well, I only ask because I know like when you like do extreme fruits, like because in Japan they're really big on fruits and like especially in fruits, they'll pollinate stuff by hand.
I don't think we do that anyway.
It's a lot of
I mean, I've
That's why I
got
asked.
there
So
in a
it's a lot
bottle
of
called
like a baseline
varieties,
rootstock.
chestnut crab.
And they don't use seeds for the trees at all. They graft stuff onto other trees, so there's no genetic process. It's not a pollination.
That's my favorite one. Not a for everyone thing. That's the one I would say is like somebody with cider.
I'm gonna have to cut the video. I'm too cold. I need to warm up.